of history, it goes to these presidential libraries. So the American government helped in the management of the presidential library. That's why all American presidents have presidential libraries, which I visited quite a number of them. And I'm happy that in Nigeria today, we are launching the second one. Obasanjo has built his own, and now President Babangida is launching his own. We will all be going there from time to time to read about the history of Nigeria. So thank you. Then,
as usual, Egbere Jolantan is more interested in, building presidential libraries, just like the Americans are, they have done. So we are going to wait for him to build his. And then maybe Bukwari too will build his own presidential library or Katu library or something. Then the certificate forger, Tifnumbu, will need a presidential library too. But by the way, contributing money, Dangote said he was going to give them, he's going to give them 2 billion naira, 2 billion naira every year for the next 4 years. And if the project is not completed by then, it will continue to give them 2 billion naira every year until the project is completed. Babangida Library, Or inside Babangida's book, which people have been, they have started reviewing what is inside the book. So we're going to get to that part, okay? But the part where Babangida is unable to still take responsibility, for the annulment of June 12, which is what these rogues used in deceiving the people like they are democratic. We are democratic. We are progressives. We mean why they are just progressives. So Babangida said, indeed, his friend won, but he was too kind of like powerless to make any difference or stop at the annulment, according to him.
Yes, today, undoubtedly, credible, free and fair elections were held on June 12, 1993. However, the tragic irony of history remains that the administration that devised a near-perfect electoral system and conducted those near-perfect elections could not complete the process. That accident of history is most regrettable. The nation is entitled to expect my impression of regret. As the leader of the military administration, I accept full responsibility for all decisions taken under my watch. And June 12 happened under my watch. Mistakes, oversights, and missteps happen in quick succession. But I say in my book, in all matters we acted in the supreme national interest so that Nigeria could survive. Our nation's march to democracy was interrupted, a fact that I deeply regret, but Nigeria survived and democracy is still alive, a testament to our resilience and commitment to progress. This book is part of my personal story of that encounter today. Undoubtedly,
he takes responsibility for all the actions taken under his watch by himself and other people around him. He admitted that indeed June 12 actually happened and then it got annulled, But to him, he said Nigeria survived despite all of that, all of that turmoil. Nigeria survived. You still have democracy, which is a pseudo-democracy, by the way, fake democracy. So that's something, You have a fake democracy where you have no real rights. I say, if your sort of freedom of your citizenship, your freedom of expression, freedom of association contradicts the position of those in the government, then you will lose that your own right to them. Fake democracy, you know, degree 24 democracy, kind of. So it was like a gathering that everybody was just like, you know. However, Babangida said, whatever happened now, maybe there's nothing anybody can do about it anymore. So go and buy my book and read about the roles everybody played, but not me, because I was just a figurehead. I was just there. I couldn't really do anything different, right? So people were analyzing that part, by the way. They were analyzing the part where he said he couldn't do anything, and they were like, "You, the one that went after, you know, Oka, you went after Vasta, your Abina Vasta, your own best man on your wedding, and you killed him because of a coup. That it's obvious that's just like trumped up charges and all that. So, but when it comes to the June 12th, that is the moment that you became powerless, kind of. So that was Babangida. And yes, they gave him a lot of money too. 2 billion naira. Dangote donated 2 billion. Theophilus Danjuma, a retired general, donated 2 billion. Hey. And so many of them too donated in billions. Even Boa, Bao, donated 2 billion. So they raised over 10 billion naira for Babangida's presidential library, by the way. Just like Obasanjo's library too. But KOOLU was there. Like I said, I'm sorry that, you know, the boring one, I don't know which one is more horrible. It will be complete if we don't hear from the Bulaba himself. What did he tell them there? Because they presented Bulaba as somebody who actually physically fight for democracy in Nigeria, you know, and that is the narrative that they want everybody to believe and hold on to. But that is not true. Do you understand what I mean? It is not true. As much as they you know, pretended to be fighting for Abiola's mandate, this Abiola's mandate, that, right? Majority of them were also going into Abacha's place, like they are playing both sides. That is why Abacha said they should go and kill that Oshoba at that time, but he escaped. You know, he went to Abuja. He always went to Abuja to go and collect money, all right, in the name of the representing the Yorubas and all that. So in one of those trips, he went to Abuja. So once you cross the toll gates, that's what kind of like saved his life anyway. Oshoba, you know that Oshoba, Bisia Konde and Co, right? Oshoba from Ogun State. He was a journalist, all right? So a journalist that was once working for Abiola himself. So majority of them were presenting themselves as people who were fighting Abacha. They were not fighting Abacha. They were not. Some of them were even like willing and ready to join Abacha's government as much as possible. Even Peter Obi too was also with Abacha, right? I think he was appointed as you know, Port Authority Director or something at the time. I'm not sure his exact role, but he was also working with Abacha. So majority of those who are presenting themselves as fighting democracy, they didn't fight for any democracy. They were comfortably working, those who are working openly and those who are working covertly, right? Pretending to be fighting for MKOs, this and that. Anyway, long story short, KOOLU is now presented as one of the people that fought the military. Really? Did he? But we'll go here waiting KOOLU had to say at that book launch, by the way.
32 years after, to give us an account of stewardship, service. Your Excellencies, it is very difficult to find the array of people that are present here, if not because of your personality, character, and impact. Nana Kukwado, thank you for that keynote remarks and your contribution and ECOWAS commitment to African suffering. To Brother Crowan, well, I met you before I became president, and I have interacted with you. Fate has brought us together again, not knowing you are close to our family. Thank all of you to the father, General Gowon. I'm glad of the restoration of your ranks and everything. We learn history from you, from the concept. Thank you for who you are and your commitment to nation building. Thank you. To former President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, we always, interact, sometimes we argue about the future of this country. We find our leaders here. The situation that brought us together and the one that we continue from this moment on. The revolutionary courage that brought leadership out to build our country. I'm glad that, about what is happening in America and Europe, the contradiction that we are seeing now all over. What is it telling us? It's telling us to wake up, to make Africa a better place, particularly this country, Nigeria. I've seen so much of responsibility and the need to take some decisions on behalf of this country. I want to thank all of you for your mandate, your patience, your perseverance. Whatever might have happened, the hallmark of the truth from our dear leader, father, uncle, General Babangida. Without you, people like me, I won't be in politics. A progressive revolution. You say that you want young, brilliant people in politics. We are with you in November.
Nuisance Lele.
Did you make sense out of where Tinubu they talk? Because now so Tinubu they talk. You get all jargons all together, but sometimes you will be saying things, right? That somehow you want to follow him on that. Say, okay, okay, right, go on. Then it will just go like it's like going right, and then it will just dive to the left, to the far left, and then dive back again. Before you know it, almost you won't be able to actually hold him and say, what is he talking about? I mean, you heard the part where he said, Babangida is a progressive. Babangida is progressive. Is remember when you told us that you wanted the young people in politics? Without you, people like us can be in politics. Amodashonguliri at your age. You know, he is happy now about the confusion going on in America, in Europe. I don't know what you mean by that confusion. Though. Maybe he's referring to the fact that far-right political parties, they are taking over governments. Like they have, okay, right. People don't like to call themselves far-right, far-left. They're okay, the right, I mean, the far, well, they still call them far-right anyway. Far-right political parties taking offices. So what does that tell you? It tells you that you have to build Africa. We must build this Africa, especially this Nigeria. Baba, you be the president, build it, we will see. Then he started talking about decision. You know, we have to make decisions. He's talking, see, what he's referring to is what some of this is praise singers, the court jesters, some of the words they have been, regurgitating online by saying that the reason why all of you are facing this hardship in Nigeria is because Tinubu is making some very, very important critical decisions, and your future, whatever you are suffering from now, don't worry, you get your reward back in the future. That kind of a thing like that. That you get your reward back in the future. Suffer now, and enjoy later. So you get. That's what Tinubu is trying to say. I mean, to repeat in that video. I know it can be boring, right? But let's listen to the other part of what he had to say about at Babangida's, book launch in Abuja, and then we're going to go straight to Osun, where another clown, is wearing a crown. Osun, but first, KOOLU.
And when you look at the programs, some of the bankers and many of us that are here today about this library, about the project, it's all the happiness of a visionary Babangida. Thank you for what you are. It's not just an ordinary day for Nigeria. The book I've not read, I've taken my copy, and I will read it. One thing I cannot forget, you are in office. You recalled we were elected. You kept on postponing the inauguration. You summoned us to Abuja. And when we became rancorous, you summoned us to the International Conference Center. I was not expecting to make any comment. I was just listening in my own radical manner that this man will not inaugurate us again. But before we returned to the hotel, the hotel was locked. No key. But when I was summoned by Daily Code to make a remark, I confronted you. That you had an opportunity to make history that day, and you failed to do it. Why not inaugurate us? Why are you calling us back and postponing the inauguration day? They thought I would end up in jail. You came out right at the end of the remark. You shook me. I can't forget that speech. You are courageous. That an inspiration that is so impactful in my own life. Just for what you are. The few hours to set a day like this and put it together for you